scoring judges at ringside are Phil Edwards from Preston, Mark Green from Romford, and Ian John Lewis from Gillingham. Finally, when the action commences, the star referee in charge of the action, Dave Paris from Woodlesford, Leeds. And so, introducing to you and presenting, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the black colour shorts trimmed with white. At the weight he's scaled, 11 stone, 10 pounds, 8 ounces. From 20 contests, he has 16 wins. 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only 4 defeats. He comes to the ring this evening as the former super middleweight champion of the Commonwealth, presenting from Accra, Ghana, Charles Adamu. And opposing him, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the red coloured shorts trimmed with black and gold. At the weighing, he scaled 12 stone, exactly. From 14 contests, he has 13 wins. 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only the single defeat. Presenting from Liverpool, Dilks. The referee, Mr. Dave Paris, with his final instructions. 12 3-minute rounds.
Boys, you know what I expect. Break when I tell you to. Don't put them up the part of the glove. If one of you go down, the other go to the furthest. Okay, shake hands, good luck to you both.
Well, Dilks put up a great effort in our prize fighter series in the light heavyweights back in February. He was beaten by Darren Stubbs, having been announced as the winner. It was a real mix-up among the judges, and eventually got robbed of that, really. A bit unlucky. And that's the only defeat on his record against 13 wins. Adamu here, 16 wins and 4 defeats so far, but 2 of those defeats against world champions Carl Froch and Otis Grant. Black Trunks, the Ghanaian, a former holder of this title, he lost it to Froch, having beaten another British fighter, Matthew Barney, who's quite tough to work out. Adamu the favourite here. Dilks, big step up in class. Can he cope with it? He's in the red trunks, the Liverpudlian.
Well, Adamu looks in good shape. Looks like he's trained for this. Got to stand the ring, very knowing, good experience. How will Dilks handle him?
Big reach advantage for Dilks. He'll look to be slick and skillful here. Draw the sting of Adamu, who plows forward, winging away with hooks.
Adamu just looking a little slow and a little wild and crude as he trundles forward.
Been inactive for 15 months, Adamu. Quite a long time, really, and last time he was in the ring, he lost on a wide points decision as well. And that might give Dilks some grounds for hope. Dilks with his left glove a little low, looks a little open to the right hand. And there is a right hand from Adamu.
Does look quite strong, although he looks a bit slow. But obviously in the past he's been a handful. And it's took good fighters to beat him.
Dilks' best win was against Billy Boyle up at light heavyweight in a Masters title fight. He says that was the toughest fight of his career. Nice left hook there from Dilks. He started okay here.
Adamu, pretty crude. Just taking a little bit for Dilks to fathom out the style.
Adamu never been stopped. Good jabbing though by Dilks. And he started reasonably fast. There's no question of stage fright. That could have been a problem for him tonight.
Yeah, and he's getting the better with the jab, using that longer reach.
Adamu looking just a bit of a wild man, if a muscular one, in this first round. Dilks might have just edged it.
Move, please, proper move, no wars. Don't go forward. Yeah, forget about that now. And listen to
Here's
me.
the Carl
No wars.
Dilks corner. Carl Ince is the
Proper
trainer.
Move. Okay, yeah. Move to the right. Keep moving to the right. Yeah.
Adamu with a decent right hand. His work was pretty crude for the most part in the opening round. So the jab working a little better.
Red trunks, remember. Carl Dilks fighting for this Commonwealth Super Middleweight Championship, which is vacant at the moment. I've seen British boxers win the title while still comparative novices. Paul Truscott, Don Broadhurst, to name a couple. Adamu looking to break the rhythm of Dilks.
Well, that's what he's got to try and do. Dilks got to use that left jab. Adamu, this is what he's going to do. Use his strength, push forward, just to set the rhythm.
What about this coming inside 3.5 pounds inside the limits? Adamu for this fight. That's a bit of a shock, isn't it? Fighters don't normally do that.
It's not ideal, really, is it? You know, you'd think he'd be a little more professional and try and be closer to the 12-stone limit.
Maybe he just went to the gym and trained really hard, and he just found out what the weight was when they got on the scales. It's a bit
also, you know, he's travelled as well. You know, the travel could have taken a bit out of him.
Yeah. Plenty of leather being thrown by Adamu in this second round. Good right hand, Dilks found there over the top, but he's been pushed onto the back foot a little in this second session.
Yeah, solid right hand from Adamu. Dilks has got to try and keep it clean, use his better boxing, not get embroiled in a brawl.
Cautionary word from referee Dave Paris, who's been around the block a couple of times. Clumsily effective was one description I saw of Adamu in the build-up to this. Tough school, isn't it, though? Those gyms around Accra in Ghana, producing the likes of Azuma Nelson, wonderful world champion, and Ike Quarte, who was involved in that battle with Oscar De La Hoya, one of the top welterweights of the 1990s, he was.
Not as effective in this round. Dilks, he's just allowed Adamu to fight his fight, use the crude swings and land with those.
Yeah, he's hustled and bustled him out of it, I think, in this second round, the Ghanaian. Dilks has to match that fire and cope with it. Likes the trench warfare, Adamu. He's a rough handful, isn't he? He won that round.
Rough and strong.
Sugar Ray, Kevin Mitchell box, Lee box, yeah? Come on, son.
Welcome back, York Hall, Bethnal Green tonight. Good crowd in again here. Last show before Christmas in Britain. This one.
Yeah, decent right hand landing from Dilks, but it was Adamu that had the better work in the second round.
Round 3.
Third round. Funny what cornermen say. Carl Ince was saying to Carl Dilks in the corner, trust me, he doesn't want to know. You could have fooled me, because Adamu just didn't stop throwing leather in that second round.
That's right. A lot of it is psychology. You're trying to keep the belief in your man. If it starts to get a little bit hard, or he's starting to just puzzle out his style.
They were reminding Dilks in the corner of the ice-cool performance that Kevin Mitchell put up recently against Bradis Prescott on that Amir Khan undercard. Masterclass from Mitchell that night. That's the kind of cool boxing they want from him, but whether this Ghanaian will let him do that is quite another thing, and whether Dilks can carry out a plan like that is also, well, open to question at this point anyway.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure he's got those sort of skills just yet, but it is that sort of tactic that he needs, and he's just allowing himself to box in Adamu's style.
The jab is key for Dilks tonight. Has to keep that going out like a piston, really, because if he doesn't throw it, Adamu will just wade forward like this. He really is very, very wild. I think that punch might have missed by the best part of a yard.
Yeah, it really just needs to be a double jab, step away, wait for the counter, and then counter that. Adamu, very crude.
It's good left hand from Dilks. This is his 7th fight already of the year. You certainly couldn't accuse him of inactivity, Carl Dilks. It's a good gamble for the camp to take, I think, with him. They'll find out about him tonight, all right. Is he going to be good enough? If he is, there are plenty of big fights in this division in Liverpool just waiting for him. Paul Smith, Tony Dobson, Tony Quigley, all in this division, all Liverpudlians.
Starting to do the right thing now, just use his speed, use his reflex.
Missing a lot in this round, Adamu. Pays for Dilks to keep the fight at range, but he has to be busy on the outside too. Adamu just trying something a little different there, making Dilks miss and maybe looking for something on the counter himself. At the moment, he looks like he's in another postal district.
Yeah, Dilks can afford to try and draw the lead and then counter.
We've got a couple of Christmas treats for you over the festive season. Our Knockouts of 2009 show happily comes to you on Boxing Day, 10 p.m. Sky Sports Extra. And our Pick of the Fights of 2009, that's on New Year's Eve, 11 p.m. over on Sky Sports 1 and HD1.
Seconds out, round 4.
Back to the live action here. Carl Dilks, red trunks in this surprise chance to become Commonwealth Super Middleweight champion. He's still ranked, I noticed, by the excellent trade paper Boxing News at number 7 among the light heavies. To get down to 12 stone, he has to eat chicken and salad 3 times a day to the point of monotony, even for breakfast.
It's the rigors of a fighter's life.
I suppose there are other light meals other than chicken and salad, mind you.
You can vary it up a little bit, can't you?
Bit of fish or something.
Again, he's just dropped back into Adamu's style of fighting and just allowing Adamu to spoil.
Adamu suddenly looking a little negative himself. He was all action in that second round. You wondered if he was about to take over, but since then, he's been a long way away from Dilks and not really got near enough to land anything very effective at all.
But Dilks isn't doing anything either, just a lot of waiting.
It's almost like Adamu might have felt the force of 1 or 2, and that's discouraged him from giving Dilks the charge. He's kind of called off the assault for the time being.
Well, a few really nice jabs have landed from Dilks, rocked the head back.
Good right hand to the body from Dilks, raiding tactics from him. At the moment, he'll be happy enough with the way things are going, but that could quite quickly change.
Adamu doesn't seem to have a great deal to his repertoire. Tries with a jab and then sort of pushes out a long, wild right hand. No real snap in it.
Again, way out of range with his jab, and inaccurate with the following hooks as well, if that's what they were.
Dilks steadying him up with that good long jab.
Tell you what, at the moment, Dilks wouldn't be odds against, which is how he started. Not what we've seen so far.
A lot more comfortable. He's starting to find the timing at the end of this round.
Can he hold it together? So far, so good. Well, this is what the bookmakers are saying at the moment. Dilks is slightly longer odds than he started. 6-4 against now. Adamu 2-1 on. I wouldn't want a bit of that at the moment on what we've seen, would you, Glenn?
No, not at all.
6 ounce, round 5.
Fifth round. Not that we're encouraging you to have a bet, not at all. Here's the red trunks of Dilks. Hoped that boxing would get the job done for him tonight. It might. It's been a decent first 4 rounds for him. He probably only lost the second so far.
Well, the last couple of rounds, Dilks' timing has been better. He's managing just to sway away from Adamu's jab and then land with his own jab, and that's been the key the last couple of rounds.
Really looking for a big swinging left hook, Adamu. He has got a good stoppage record. When he wins, which has been 16 times, he's stopped 12 of the opponents. Now that suggests that there's a bit of power there.
He certainly looks strong enough, doesn't he?
Very strong. Squat, muscular. You can see the bulging biceps. But maybe just getting a little long in the tooth. Is he as good as he was 5 years ago when he gave Carl Froch a decent argument?
Well, the inactivity will not have done him any good. And I think his timing is off because of that.
And at 32, you have to wonder, can you get that time back again?
Dilks managing to get the arm up and block that shot.
Dilks himself has to stay busy. Little pot shot with the right hand from him. He's got plenty of support. Travelled down from Liverpool. Not an easy day to travel either, with the snow around.
I'd like to see Dilks double up that jab a little bit more. Single jabs. Needs to try and double it up and then throw a right hand behind it. Just do it a little bit more now.
He's quicker and more accurate at the moment than Adamu, who's out of range continually at this stage of the contest. Needs to cut off the corners, ideally, Charles Adamu. You know, the Dilks fan club singing away here in this arena where you're never much more than about 25 yards from the ring. So if you ever fancy coming boxing, this is the place. I would suggest whatever you pay for the ticket, you're going to get a great view and a wonderful atmosphere too. Pick your fight though.
Dilks is round again.
Got to be happy in that corner, really.
Just got a few more right hands coming through to him now.
Well, this title in the past has been held by Rod Carr in the late 1980s, inaugural holder of the title. The very popular Henry Wharton. Remember his great British battles against Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank. There was Clinton Woods, who of course went on to become a world light heavyweight champion. David Starry from Suffolk, who took this title from Clinton Woods, went on to fight Joe Calzaghe. Andre Tissé, South African, who took the title from Starry. And then Carl Froch himself, now the WBC Super Middleweight champion from Nottingham. He's had a splendid 2009, and let's hope he has a great 2010 too. He's due to fight Mikkel Kessler, of course, early in the new year. Back to this one, round 6. Just about unheard of, really, outside the business before tonight. Carl Dilks from Liverpool. Swollen around the face, by the look of it, on the right cheekbone, Adamu, too.
Yeah, moving away comfortably. Dilks just seeming to get the level of Adamu. Making a miss and then countering well.
Jabs working well for him. Probably gaining in confidence. He'll be the fitter and fresher of the two as well. People looked at this fight beforehand. They said Adamu had mixed at a better level. He was more experienced and battle-hardened, as Dilks just get a little warning there for fighting on the break. But sometimes it works the other way around. It's a thin line between being battle-hardened and experienced and being a tad ring-worn. There's a right hand that just caught him off balance more than anything.
Yeah, his legs were a little unsteady there. I think he might have stood his foot. But give Dilks a little bit of confidence, seeing Adamu just wobble a bit there.
Good left hand there from the Ghanaian. He knows he needs to step it up. He's just looked a bit bemused by Dilks over the last 3 rounds. He's gone to sleep on the job, really. The ring rust, a factor possibly too for Adamu.
It's also important for Dilks to look quite good. There's some interesting fights out there for him. If he can put on a bit of a performance here as well.
Well, a bit of a performance basically means winning, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, but you know, there's winning and then winning in a little bit of style, and you know, you want to see a little bit more than just scraping through from Dilks.
He wants it cleaned up here, Dave Paris. And it's messy again. Dilks rather telegraphing his right hand. Adamu made him miss by a long way, but it's the Ghanaian who's missing almost embarrassingly at times. He does look very, very crude, doesn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't look as if he's coming with a real game plan. Just crude and wild.
Almost agricultural at times.
He's getting a bit frustrated, Ian. Dilks landing well with a jab.
Wilder than a 1950s rocker at the moment, Charles Adamu.
I'll see what he says.
Well, David Hayes, trainer, is here tonight. Adam Booth, and he's with Ed Robinson.
Well, Adam, I gather you're here on a bit of a spying mission.
Yeah, well, obviously, George Groves was an important project for me, and you know, Super Middleweight Commonwealth title is something that I think realistically George should be in a position to be winning within the next 6 to 8 months.
How do you think Carl Dilks is getting on?
I think he's settled into the fight quite well after a bit of a rough start. He's found a rhythm. He's smothered Adamu's reckless charges, and certainly in that round he seems to have had his number. So as long as he's got the conditioning, because I know he had late notice for this one, but as long as he's got the conditioning, he just keeps concentrating, I think he'll start to win by a wider margin.
Do you want Dilks to win?
Of course.
Thank you.
Corners 10 seconds.
Of course he did a great job in the corner that night with David Hay.
Seconds out, round
And George
7.
Groves is a very, very good talent, I can tell you. Also in that David Hay camp, but of course also in this division. And coming up fast is James DeGale, our Olympic gold medalist. And they might be eyeing this kind of title as well. Both 6-5 on now. That's how the bookmakers see it. Personally, I'd have Dilks heavier odds on than that, I think, if I was devising the odds.
Yeah, he looks as if he's controlling it. The jab being a significant punch, which Dilks is landing well.
Dilks in the red trunks. If things had worked out a bit differently, he might have been Liverpool's goalkeeper by now. He was very promising as a schoolboy, but chose boxing instead. In fact, when Liverpool heard he was going boxing, they decided to discontinue his football career. Goalkeeper does have one or two unfortunate connotations in boxing parlance, so
Yeah, he doesn't want to be saving too many
with your face. Defence, little smirk came on the face of Dilks there. I think he feels quite settled in the fight at the moment. He may feel he's in control of this. It's up to Adamu here to use his experience as the former champion, remember, of the Commonwealth, to come up with something to turn this around a little, because I think the rounds are going away from him. He's just out of range all the time, Glenn.
Yeah, now he's on the back foot with Dilks commanding the centre of the ring, pushing him round, and I think he's just run out of ideas, Adamu. But I'd like to see Dilks do a little bit more than he is. He's winning these rounds, but without ever being super eye-catching.
Can he really take command of things here? Out a left hook. But in a way, I think the onus really is on the Ghanaian to do something about this at the moment. Why he might not be sparkling, Dilks. I think he is winning the rounds if it carries on like this.
Yeah, cleaner punches from Dilks. Nothing really good landing from Adamu. You know, even if he lands like that, you know, they weren't really on the target, you know, and he's just pushing punches out.
Can he find a humdinger from somewhere, I wonder? Adamu. Again, it's a really desperate charge across the ring in straight lines, not setting up the attack at all.
Only problem in this round, Dilks has done very little as well, where Adamu's the least tried, so maybe that one for the Ghanaian.
Yeah, Adamu did a bit more in that round. From our computer, we have some revealing statistics for you about jabs landed. Carl Dilks 22, Charles Adamu 6.
Well, some of that good work with the jab from Dilks from different rounds in the fight so far. Good solid jab, still just a single punch. Could do it doubling it up. See, the gap was there, the first one landed, and then he just needed to follow that in with a second jab, and it would have connected.
Landing more so far, 41 to 26. Calls himself Carl Dynamite, Dilks. That might be a bit of a misnomer, really. He's not really a heavy puncher. His record suggests he's more of a light hitter, more of a boxing type, but I guess it's something to put on the posters, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Dynamite Dilks kind of rhymes anyhow.
Kind of. Here's the 8th. Off balance again. Adamu, who so far has been deeply unimpressive. Can he get into the fight? He did land a few more in that last round. He just needs to get closer. Again, big swing. Does get there with a body shot. And then a slashing right hand to the head as well from the Ghanaian. Remember, Dilks has only once been beyond 6 rounds in his career as well. It's on a 10-rounder.
But the danger for Dilks is that he's watching a lot without throwing punches. You know, he just can't follow Adamu round the ring. Adamu is picking away with punches. He's busier again now.
Good right hand from Dilks, but take your point, Glenn. Adamu just that little more competitive. He needs to show who's boss again. Dilks just creeping that little closer, and he's picked up the work rate a little more too, as Charles Adamu. He has the capacity to make this hard down the stretch for the Liverpudlian, because he's been there before in this kind of an argument, and that counts for something. Dilks is just a 2-year pro, a busy one, but still quite wafer-thin experience compared to the man in front of him, who's been around for 8 years in this business, and in with decent quality too along the way, though he's looked rusty tonight. I wonder if it might be a case of the rust falling off as the fight goes on a bit too, for Adamu.
Yeah, he's trying to certainly throw the arms out and swipe away with punches. Nothing really quality from Adamu, but he is trying to work, and that's the danger for Dilks, that he just spends too much time admiring his own work.
Just beginning to claw his way back into the argument, possibly, Adamu, after a bad few rounds. Maybe he won that last one. That's better from Dilks. Found a couple of hooks. But it's significant that Adamu is getting closer to him now. And there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 punch combination. And then a couple more too from him. And he's a tough man. He'll walk through shots to try to prevail.
Yeah, again, Dilks not making him miss as much. You know, just taking these flurries, and there's a little mark on the eye of Dilks.
By the way, the live action tonight doesn't stop here, because we've got a European heavyweight championship fight for you tonight. Very popular Pole, Albert Sosnowski. So popular that he was on Celebrity Big Brother in Poland, apparently, until walking out of the house to go and have a fight. But still, they invited him in the first place. He's in with Paolo Vidoz, the veteran Italian and former European champion. That's live in East London tonight.
Back to the action, and Dilks still just allowing Adamu back into this fight. He had some good work, but Adamu keeps pushing the punches out and got a few decent combinations on, and Dilks needs to just up his work rate.
Back they get to work. Round 9 of this one, and Adamu over the last couple of sessions has done better to make you think this is no formality, and now there's damage on that cheekbone for Dilks, the right cheekbone.
Yeah, Adamu just coming back into it on my card. Last couple of rounds, Dilks just been a little bit lazy and allowed Adamu to throw a few more punches.
Here's an interesting one. Adamu, according to our computer whiz kids, has thrown twice as many punches in the fight. Hasn't landed with twice as many punches, but he's thrown twice as many, even if a lot of them have hit the air in the York Hall.
But them thrown punches might just be taking the judges' eyes a little more.
Just not quite doing enough, Dilks. Needs to get that jab going again. Keep it on the outside. Good right hand from Dilks there.
That's better from Dilks.
Walked onto that, didn't he, the Ghanaian? Good work from Carl Dilks there.
Well, I think Dilks, you know, if he starts using the feint a little bit more, that'll make Adamu commit himself, and then he can counter.
Doubling up on the jab too, Dilks. He's come back quite well in this session. I'm sure the corner will have told him there was a need to just re-establish himself.
It's important he continues to work that jab just to keep Adamu off balance.
Once or twice in the fight, just giving the impression, Adamu, of looking like an old fighter in there.
Suddenly the reflexes are going. You wouldn't last 12 with call Frotch now, would he?
Certainly not, no. Froch going from strength to strength, holding on to his championship. Doubling up on the jab. Dilks certainly back to work in this round, just breathing a little heavily now. Adamu as well. Monumental effort from him in the last couple of sessions, and maybe that's just taken its toll a little bit.
Yeah, but this one's Dilks round.
Yeah.
He's asserted himself more.
Three rounds to go. Look at that. Adamu has thrown 463 punches to Dilks 228, but his success rate is a paltry 8%. One of the lowest we've ever seen that. Dilks 23%, so he's landed more, much more economic.
Yep. He's starting to just pick it up. I'm sure the corner told him to do that. Needed to. Start to get the jab working again.
I mean, 8%. That is a very, very small percentage. Now 11-4 against, having started favourite Adamu, and Dilks has got a 4-1 on. I'm sure there are a few people who must have bitten off the bookmakers' hands when they were offering 6-4 against after about 4 rounds of this, because I think the writing was kind of on the wall. But let's see what happens next. You never really know, do you? Last 3, red trunks, Carl Dilks of Liverpool. Would be a major achievement for him if he was to take this title. I have to say I've been disappointed with Adamu though tonight, ring rust or no.
Yeah, he hasn't had any time, and has he? It's looked as if he's been out of the ring for a long while. Seems at times to be trying to remember the combinations.
Three fights in the last 4 years, none in the last 15 months. It might have been a shrewd piece of matchmaking, this. It's a game of snakes and ladders boxing. As Mickey Duff was fond of telling us, he lost his balance there. It's a timeout here. He's telling him not to punch with the inside of the glove as well at that rather crucial point. Dave Paris, it seemed a funny time to step in, didn't it?
It certainly did. It looked as if he just wobbled Adamu a little bit. Maybe he saw something different. We were on the blind side, but difficult time to stop it.
Dilks might not have been best pleased by that, because he might have wanted to follow up the attack. Little jab, right hand over the top from Adamu. But is he running out of ideas in this contest? I had Dilks 3 points up going into the last 3 rounds, which means that Adamu would need to win them all, barring a knockout, to pull it back round to level. But that's only my card.
Yeah, all mine's pretty similar to yours, Ian. Walking under a couple, Dilks just getting a little bit reckless.
Again out of range, going negative again. Adamu, this is what he did in rounds 3, 4, 5 and 6 a bit. He gave away ground in the fight, maybe vital ground.
And I think, Ian, the Commonwealth title's a decent title to pick up at this stage in Dilks' career. Should he go on to win this? You know, it's often not one of the harder titles.
No, it's become a kind of stepping stone title, isn't it, really? And I'm never quite sure how you qualify to get a shot at it.
I don't want no awards in this round, son. He's dangerous, he's getting frustrated with him. Keep moving, son. Keep moving. Yeah? Let's do the boxing, let's box. Let's use the jab and move off. Carl, please listen to me. I need you to box this round, right? You're winning the fight. You've got that round back, yeah? All right. It's tiring, yeah, but it's too dangerous, yeah? Okay. Pop and move. Pop and move, yeah? Don't fuck this up, Cole. All right. Okay.
Apologies for the language in the corner, as ever, when that kind of thing's happening. You're live in a professional boxing show by way of explanation. I agree with him. I think he is winning the fight, Carl Dilks. Quite handily, in fact.
But it's important that he keeps his work rate up. Doesn't get drawn into a fight, he uses that jab.
That's the last boxing you're likely to see in 2009, unless you go to Belgium. I'm told they fight on Christmas Day there. An unlikely trip for most of you. And me. '11th round. Dilks sent out with instructions from the corner. You heard it. Box, stay out of trouble. They don't want to take any risks. They know that one wild shot from Adamu could turn the fight on its head. So I think they're beginning to think now, we've got some rounds in the bank. Let's use that position. Looks like the years have caught up with Charles Adamu. Maybe sadly he was beaten by a long way in his last fight back in September 2008 by Isaac Chilemba in South Africa. An African title contest. Maybe that was a clue.
Decent success from Adamu.
Good right hand. That was one of the best punches of the fight from Dilks there. He really timed that one.
But one of the things we're going to say is for Dilks is there's a lot tougher tests out there than this.
Well, he's come from nowhere, hasn't he?
Yeah,
to get this chance and probably win the title, barring late dramatics.
Yeah, it's going to be good for his confidence, and hopefully, you know, he can move to another level from this. But he needs to be more rounded, needs to do a lot more work in fights.
But what he's done tonight looks like being enough. And again, he's hitting arms and gloves and slapping a bit. Adamu, 8% success rate, which means out of every 100 he's throwing, he's missing with 82. No, 92. Sorry, beg your pardon. My maths is hopeless.
That's a lot of missing, isn't it? He's allowed this round to be pretty crude. Dilks not really scored with anything good. Maybe just having a bit of a breather.
Right hand gets in from Adamu. When I tell you to break, step back, says Dave Paris. He's quite a lot to say in there tonight, hasn't he, Dave Paris, one way and another?
It's last round, son. Yeah. You lost that round. Okay.
I reckon he lost that round. I probably agree with that.
Come on. Your jab's winning the fight. And then you lost in that last round. You stopped throwing your jab. Yeah? The last round coming up. Yeah. Cheers, Dave.
Dilks probably lost the round, but one of the best punches of the fight so far. Good, solid right hand, but just didn't do enough and didn't follow up from that.
Yeah? Win the jab. Don't get mixed in the war because you'll get caught.
Punches landed, Dilks.
Come on, son, you want this?
17 more.
This is the last round.
I got that bit of maths right anyway. I'll tell you about the other exams I failed later.
Win it convincingly, yeah? You've got it. Drenching them back, son. How much you want it? 3 minutes.
Seconds out, 12th and last round.
It's the last round of this one. Red trunks, remember Carl Dilks. Good night for him so far. Can he just finish this off now in the last 3 minutes?
Yeah, 3 points ahead, so just needs to keep this nice and clean. Use the jab, keep out of any trouble, and he should be the new Commonwealth champion.
Just no real technical ability whatsoever tonight from Adamu. He's just blazed away and stirred up the air in the York Hall. He could start his own ventilating system, really. There have been so many punches thrashing around, not landing.
For all his experience and for the good fighters he's been in with, the times you think somebody just shown him the pair of gloves for the first time.
He's rough and he's tough and he's brave and courageous, and he'll make a fight of it the best way he knows how. But Dilks has just outboxed him most of the way tonight. Not always sparkled, Carl Dilks. Sometimes he's switched off, sometimes he hasn't quite done enough. But in the main, it looks like he's generally been the boss in there. Certainly way, way, way more economic.
Well, I think he's got to think himself a little fortunate to get this opportunity, Carl Dilks. I'm sure he'll be quite happy to take it.
Well, sometimes fighters need a lucky break, don't they? It was a lucky break to get the chance. His job was to take it. Yet another warning for Adamu, who has been going in, and there has been a big risk of clashes of the head because of that. They're already celebrating, they've already started the party. The family and friends of Carl Dilks, who says he's doing this to make a good living for his family, fiancée Jane, young daughter Ebony.
Well, good luck to him. Going to be some tougher fights out there.
First time he's had to go the full 12 rounds, no sign of him stopping. Good left hook as well there. Landed flush on the chin.
And there's been a workmanlike performance from Dilks. Never spectacular.
But he's looked the likely winner of this, I think, from quite a long way out. From about the 4th round on, really. Up to Phil Edwards, Mark Green and Ian John Lewis, who are scoring this at ringside. Closing chapter.
Sorry, Ian, getting the better of the final round as well, Dilks.
It's all over. Is it a crowning night for the former soldier from Liverpool, Carl Dilks? He thinks so. Adamu goes around and puts his hands up to the crowd in the way that losing fighters often do. It looked a bit of an empty gesture, and the body language from his corner is that they don't think he's won, frankly, and neither do we. A 9% success rate. Dilks landing significantly more economic with it. And Adamu, well, he just looked like a fighter who'd gone backwards there, but take nothing away from Carl Dilks, because if he has lifted the Commonwealth Super Middleweight Championship, it might mean some decent money for him and chances in 2010.
Yeah, he got his jab working, and it was similar tactics for Dilks all the way through. Straight punches were the ones that landed, and he kept it up. Could have done a little bit more with the jab, but it was always a little bit more, you sensed. And when Adamu is missing with around 450 punches, that takes some doing, doesn't it?
Is that what it was? 450? Goodness me.
Dilks closing it out with the better work. The jab, as you can see, the punch that has been the best punch for Dilks throughout this contest, and should have taken him to the Commonwealth title.
As Glenn's scorecard coming up for you, 116, 112. I've got something very, very similar, but it doesn't really matter what Glenn and I think. Only the 3 judges, and we're about to find out their opinion of what they just saw any second now when they've finished doing all that writing. Takes a lot of time. The main thing is they get it right. We have had occasions where the wrong card has been announced in world boxing, not just
and in Dilks'
and
the
in
prize
Dilks,
fighter.
yeah, well, exactly. Good point. Yeah, of course, in prize fighter, he was announced the winner. And then somebody turned around and said, "Oh, we got the scoring wrong. Sorry, you didn't win. You lost. You're out now." And it was a bit embarrassing, that, for the British Boxing Board of Control. I guess occasionally under pressure those things do happen, but they really shouldn't. So here we go now. Has Dilks got his first professional title here, an unexpected one. I think they're just about ready. Yep, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we have a split decision. Judge Phil Edwards scores the contest 116 to 113 for Adamu. Judge Ian John Lewis scores the contest 115 to 113 for Dilks. And Judge Mark Green scores the contest 115 to 114 for the winner by split decision and new super middleweight champion of the Commonwealth, Charles Adamu.
Adamu gets that. I'm very, very surprised by that. A fighter who missed with 450 punches on the night, landed less according to our computer, has won the fight. I am absolutely amazed by that. That is bizarre.
Controversial scenes at the end of that 12-rounder. Don't